Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Molechap here, coming at you with another StarCraft replay commentary. And we got a treat here today, ladies and gentlemen. This is none other than Bisu, the Protoss player over here on the right side of your screen. And he's going to be playing against EffOrt, the white Zerg player over on the left. This is, I'm excited about this. This is from, I believe, a practice game or something like that. This is from a replay pack from 2015. So it's actually more recent than some of the games that I've been doing. But this is going to be such a great matchup. We got basically the master of PvZ versus one of the masters of Zerg in general. I mean, I guess Bisu's just a master of Protoss in general, but you know, Bisu's kind of a, he's kind of a god. He's kind of a Protoss god. But EffOrt is also maybe a demigod. He's someone that you know, he's not quite Jaedong level as far as his accomplishments, but I would actually put him at or very near Jaedong's level, you know, in his playstyle. EffOrt is actually so solid. And this is from 2015, who actually at this point in time, in 2015, EffOrt might be better than Jaedong at this moment, because EffOrt kind of has been doing very well in ASLs and KSLs and whatever other Brood War tournaments in sort of recent years, as he's kept playing. Bisu's kept playing as well, although I actually don't think he's quite gotten... Actually, I'm not sure what Bisu's been up to. Oh, look at that little cute little larva sneaking over to this side, so it's going to be closer to the minerals. In any case, this should be a good match is my point, though, because we got two absolute epic top-level players who are in shape in 2015 is my point here. So they're going to be duking it out very well. And we got Bisu opening with a gateway, by the way, and going ahead and producing zealots initially. So right off the bat, you know, this is from 2015. I would say this is kind of feels like a more normal opening in 2021. I'm actually not sure, because 2015 is during my dark age when I kind of had tuned out of esports in general. And so I'm not sure exactly what normal was during this time period, but I feel like it was less normal then than it was now, is my kind of impression. So EffOrt's going to be forced to kind of deal with this a little bit. Now, he did have this Overlord walking over here. I don't know if it spotted this Zealot before, so I don't know if he's going to know this is coming, but there's not a lot he can do necessarily about this Zealot. He just kind of have to wait for the spawning pool to come up, and now he can go ahead and produce several, actually, it says 2 Zerglings, but I think that means 2 eggs of Zerglings, which will pop 4 Zerglings. I never actually noticed that before, or paid attention to that before. The probe goes down to a massive hit from the gang of drones, and you've seen Game of Thrones, but now you've seen Gang of Drones. Anyway, so that was 4 Zerglings popping out. That's interesting that that's how it's itemized up at the production tab here. Anyway, Bisu continued to produce additional zealots and sending them across the way as well, while he goes ahead and gets his tech going. And these zealots are distracting enough that he's actually able to get his forge and his cannons a little bit later. And it looks like EffOrt is not overreacting to this too much. Look, he's made several Zerglings, but he's not continuing to produce Zerglings. He's now switching over. He's making drones. He's got this second hatchery up, which he's not producing at yet. He's actually going to morph his lair down at that expansion, which, given that Bisu's being a little bit aggressive, kind of makes a little bit of sense. One zealot has gone down. The second zealot, where did the second zealot go? Oh, there it is. It's right in between. Coming up into the main here, 3 Zerglings, all pretty high hit points. Is probably going to be enough for this to finish off the zealot, especially because it does target down the drone. He gets a drone kill, though. He's sneaking around to try and get an extra drone kill. EffOrt forced to make a couple extra Zerglings. Now, I'm curious if, yeah, this is what I was thinking, is that EffOrt should probably send some Zerglings over towards Bisu's direction as well. It looks like Bisu is probably going to have this cannon up in time. The Zealot's going to be a nice little Hodor right there to make sure that these Zerglings can't get through too easily. Now, it looks like he's worried about them squeezing by the Zealot, so he's going to put a probe in that gap as well. So it's going to hold them off at least long enough for the cannon to come up for sure. In any case, lots of Zerglings being created here by this push. So, you know, I think the Zealots have definitely paid for themselves. He's made 3 Zealots, if I'm not mistaken, and sent them across the map, but he forced so many Zerglings. He killed a couple drones. He killed several Zerglings as well. So very effective early attack here by Bisu, kind of taking a pretty early advantage, I'd say, and protecting his own expansion at the same time. I mean, that's what Bisu is, you know, I mean, that's what the Forge expansion is for. But like, that's the key to the Bisu build, or the Forge expansion build, is that you're able to protect an expansion with minimal resources, right? And in this case, Bisu protecting expansion with minimal resources and doing harassment to EffOrt at the same time is a pretty incredible thing to accomplish here. The Spire is about 2/5 complete now, pushing up there. So Bisu, let's see, does he actually have a Stargate? It's almost complete. Stargate's completing right now, so he is actually probably going to be able to get out one Corsair. Well, I was going to say one Corsair by the time the Spire finishes, which means 2, maybe 3 by the time any mutas would get out. He's not saving up money, so I'm not anticipating mutas at this point. He's probably just going to get some Scourge in order to try and get some control of the air, is what I'm anticipating here. If he was going to try and get some sort of muta attack, he would be saving up Larva, but he can't really afford to because Bisu continuing to put pressure on him here with these Zealots. Moving into natural expansion, 3 Zealots. The +1 weapons is nowhere near finished yet, so it's not going to be a factor here. But he is going to be able to get on this ramp, and actually he does get surrounded. So this ramp is like kind of an okay area. They don't get completely surrounded, but EffOrt's able to still get pretty significant surface area on the Zerglings and kills the Zealots off pretty quickly there. So Bisu, I think, got ahead with his first 3 Zealots. I think those second 3 Zealots not really accomplishing enough. EffOrt just making a few more Zerglings, surviving with a few Zerglings, which is actually doesn't mean that he made too many Zerglings. It means he made enough to kill those Zealots pretty effectively, actually. So there are 2 Corsairs out right now. And are we even seeing any Scourge on the map? We do see a couple Scourge. But yeah, EffOrt just going ahead and trying to use this time to... Oh, and I didn't even see that the Zealot had gone down. I saw that this expansion was down here. I didn't see that a Zealot snuck down here. You cheeky little Zealot. Sneaking into that 3rd base. It's going to get a couple more... Nope, only 1 more Zergling kill, but it looked like he might have gotten a drone kill or 2 before that happened as well. At least stopping mining at that 3rd base. So, while Bisu's building up this Air Force, before it's really big enough that it can actually, you know, wreck too much in the air and kill Overlords very quickly, EffOrt's going to take advantage of this time while Bisu is now building up his tech, building up Corsairs instead of ground units, and to go ahead and get that 3rd base and the 4th base up as well. So this is looking, you know, very typical ZVP, getting that SimCity going. A beautiful SimCity actually here by EffOrt, getting the hatchery and den in front of a couple colonies here, getting the Evo chamber and hatchery here, just a little gap here with some Zerglings in the way. He's going to get a couple colonies there. So really, really elegant build here by EffOrt in order to retain control of 4 bases. And look at that, those Scourge were like going different directions at once. It was kind of weird to see that. They're hunting for these Corsairs. If he can try and get these Corsairs from different angles at the same time, he might be able to land some. He does land a couple. The Corsairs are running for the hills. They've got enough of a head start. They're going to be able to get back to the main base where the cannons are, or the natural expansion where the cannons are, in time. And it looks like this poke in here did no damage as expected, because nice little SimCity. Again, he tried to run through this gap. The Zerglings blocked the gap. The Sunken was able to do damage. The second Sunken wasn't even finished morphing yet, but it didn't really matter that much. Look at this. He's just like, he's doing like synchronized swimming for the with these Scourge. And by the way, I've meant to say this at the beginning of the game, just in case, you know, people didn't watch all the way through or whatever, but I'm going to say it now because it just popped into my mind. Just a reminder that I will not be streaming for the next week, the first week and a half of August. So it might be 2 or even 3 streams in a row that I'm going to miss for my live stream where we do our watch parties. But then I'll be back in mid-August for sure. But just wanted to give a heads up just so people don't tune in and wonder what's going on with that. I might try to, if people think it's a good idea, I might actually try and show a replay or a rerun. You can show reruns on Twitch, so that way there's at least something to watch and people can chat at least on the reruns. So that might be a fun thing to do. Anyway, he's producing a lot of Scourge, but just kind of, you know, patrolling around the map. And did I hit D or something like that? For some reason it looked like they're going slowly. No, it looks like it's normal speed. Never mind. Anyway, he's really hunting hard with these. Oh, he's gonna try and get one of the... Oh, it was a really nice maneuver there, actually. Putting the Scourge in the way where he could pick off the Corsair as it was moving out on the map to try and join up with the rest. Doesn't quite get the kill, though, but he's gonna have to get something more, I think, to deal with these Corsairs at a certain point. He's got 6 now, 7 Corsairs. And nicely done by Bisu, actually pulling the one that was injured away so it didn't actually die. 5 hit points on that. What did it say? Yeah, 5 hit points on that Corsair, so nicely done. The Scourge are on the hunt, though. Again, he's kind of like building up these 4 bases while he's hunting around with these 4 Scourge. But let's look at the supply right now, ladies and gentlemen. 66 out of 44, those Overlord kills, supply blocked EffOrt. Bisu's at 110 supply. Now, the thing is that's kind of what Zerg does. in the mid game in ZVP is they shell up and they get their economy and their tech going in the mid game, just like the Forge expand is kind of like the Protoss version, right? It's kind of like the Den Hatch Sunk double, triple, quadruple expand or whatever that Zerg do, I guess. I don't know. To get their safe tech and their economy going in the mid game. But you need to be able to protect your overlords in order for that to be safe. And he's got 9+1 Corsairs right now. I feel like this might need to be a spore colony instead of a sunken. Okay, he does have one spore down here. But Bisu really controlling the map right now with these Corsairs. He does have a spore over here as well to protect these overlords. So that's a nice move. But one spore is not going to be enough to stop 9+1 Corsairs from annihilating. Oh, I just heard where's it? I hear DT. Oh, okay, the DT's over here. Sneaky DT, I didn't see it. I saw this clump of orange in the middle with these zealots that are kind of marauding in the middle of the map. But I did not see the DT before. And actually the zealots not quite able to save that Dark Templar. Nice little snipe there, running in some Zerglings and an Overlord. The Overlord's going to try and get back to the Spore for defense and is going to die on the way, unfortunately. Now Bisu has gotten his third base up here. Is this Overlord going to drop some? He's got a couple lurkers in the back of it or something like that? I guess I can show that, can't I? Because this is a replay. No, it's just scouting through. That would have been kind of cheeky if he had some overlords or lurkers he could drop back here. But he's just scouting around, seeing what's going on. He's going to see the gateway count. He's going to see the tech going on in the background. What is he upgrading here? He's actually upgrading. Okay, I was like, is he upgrading air weapons too? It's just the green range. So he's going to be preparing for the lurker switch. And I accidentally clicked off EffOrt's vision there. So yeah, look at this. These Corsairs are just so strong. They can kind of just go around and kill stuff wherever they want to. In the air. The spores are not really a big deterrent, honestly. And you can see EffOrt has continued to be supply blocked. Some overlords pop out and they're having to be protected by these Hydralisks right here. But while he's dealing with these air attacks and kind of dealing with the SimCity and getting his lurkers out and what have you, Bisu has built a substantial ground army. Now, does he have High Templars with his army? It doesn't look like they're with the army. They're behind the army, and they might get picked off by these Zerglings in the back, actually. The Zerglings are not quite numerous or quick enough to get them, so the High Templars do survive, and there's a lot of energy on these Templars. Look at that, 200 out of 200 on that one. So we've got like 8 or 9 storms in the bank right now, ladies and gentlemen, here. For these Templars, he's going to get a double storm on one lurker in the front. Not having any observers in play, he's going to be forced to storm, but these lurkers are clumped up, and another storm will polish off all 3 of them. Beautifully done. The SimCity actually kind of making it so these Zerglings can't get out right now, but it is annihilating the Zealots. These lurkers in the back are killing off the Zealots, so they're kind of stuck on the front here. Bisu looks like he might be thinking about doing something with the Corsairs. Nope, never mind, they're just chilling there. I thought he'd move them down here to do a secondary attack or something like that. But he's trying to burn these storms with the lurkers, but clumping up the lurkers has not been good for him. But he's still got several storms in the bank. I would say 4 or 5 left. And with these range upgraded Dragoons now, he's able to kind of pick things off here. Now look at this though, Consume is nearly completed. We've got 2 Defilers being created right now. We've got more lurkers on the front. These Dragoons are going to go down in efficacy extremely fast and extremely low as soon as the Dark Swarms get placed on top of the Zerg units. And these Templars have been moved in. No, they've actually been moved into Storm. He actually storms the Lings coming to the front at the same time as storming some of the drones as well. He's trying to push into this natural expansion, going for the jugular instead of going for the economic kills on the edges of the map. And is he going to be able to accomplish it is a question, because the lurkers are now, the Defilers are now, and he does get a swarm down on top of the lurkers. He needs to get one on top of these lurkers down here as well, because the Dragoons are going to be able to finish off these sunken colonies very quickly. Okay, one swarm does go down. It's actually not on top of most of the lurkers, but it's on top of the front one at least, and so it's going to stop things, slow things down. Bisu's continuing to push into this natural expansion, though, while he takes a 4th base, by the way, and EffOrt is kind of running out of answers right now. He's got these Dragoons in his main base, unless he can come up with some Plagues and a load of Zerglings or something like that. We see some Zerglings being created. Plague is being evolved right now. He's got 5 lurkers morphing right now. And here's what I was thinking about. The Lings that were created at the expansion bases streaming across the map. He's going to need to make good use of these. If he can pick off those Templar and come in from the Dragoons and do some damage with the Lings, he might be able to hold this off. He's lost the expansion, but can he save the game for himself? It looks like the answer is no. He's going to get a couple Dragoons there. Actually, the Dragoons forced to run up the ramp away from the Zerglings are running directly through lurker fire. There's a lot of lurkers, and they were being morphed on the high ground here. Sorry for my camera being moved around a little bit funky there. But he's actually going to be able to kill off all of the Dragoons. The Zealots are now going to go down as they take lots of fire going up the ramp. I believe they're barely going to be finished off here. If these Lurkers don't finish them off, an extra round of Zerglings will be able to polish off those Zealots. So can EffOrt come back in this game is the question. He's trying to get another base over here at this left side of the map. He's completely lost his natural expansion, but he could probably rebuild that fairly easily. But I think the supply count tells the story here, ladies and gentlemen. 160 to supply to 66 supply, and dropping. If he get, I don't know. Let's see if these cracklings. I think these are crack upgraded Zerglings running in here onto this base. They're going to be able to take out the cannons pretty quickly, but there's just not enough of them. The DT underneath the Darkstorm is actually polishing, killing off Zerglings, just feasting upon them basically. Dark Templar with 11 kills on it. This High Templar with which High Templar? Just stormed them. I didn't see that actually. Maybe the High Templar was down here. Anyway, Bisu racking up the kill count is the point here, ladies and gentlemen. And look at this beautiful double Dark Swarm right all over the base. Should have been a kill, was not. That was his chance to get back in the game, I think, and it failed. And so now he's going to lose this left side base to a handful of Zealots. Natural expansion is gone, and there's the GG coming from EffOrt. Well played, though. You know, it's kind of interesting that I thought EffOrt was in a better spot than he was, but I think he played around with the Scourge too much. Like, what did he accomplish with all of those Scourge running around the map, running around in here, running around here? We saw some really cool, almost ballet-like movements with Scourge parting groups all across the map and running around. And did he get more than one Corsair kill? I think I only saw one Corsair kill with all of those Scourge. So it feels like he almost didn't commit enough to the Scourge, and it didn't do enough, you know, to actually justify it. You know, here we ended up with 8 Corsairs. I think he probably made 9 or 10. So yeah, he probably lost a couple of different points, but he controlled the air so much with the Corsairs. The Scourge were not able to do anything about it. So he wasted a lot of gas on the Scourge that did virtually nothing. That maybe he could have been spending on Hydralisks or getting extra Lurkers or something like that. So when the battle actually came to the natural expansion, eventually after Bisu had just been building up his ground army as he'd harassed with the Corsairs so much and supply blocked EffOrt for like half the game. In the end, EffOrt just had lost too many resources on defending that air stuff, and you know, he had to spend a lot of money on the Stargate and the Corsairs and the upgrades, but it looks like he did more damage than the losses that he took in order to create those units. And so he was able to pile that advantage into in a strong ground advantage, and just going in with just way too many Templars. And you know, that's the thing is, you know, one of the reasons why Zerg try and control the air at least a little bit, keep the Corsair count down, is because then they can get some Mutalisks and they can run in the back, they can pop the High Templar in the back of the army, and they don't encounter one of those situations like what we saw there. Let me see if I can actually jump back to that moment, just magically guess the right time code here. Oh, I did actually. So yeah, this moment here where he's got so many Templars, and he, you know, at this point he's already used several of his storms, killing the Lurkers in the front without even having observers. Does he even have an observatory? Okay, here's, I think, his first observer popping out right now, because there's no observers with this army. So he's just forced to expend multiple storms on Lurkers. And unfortunately for EffOrt, he clumped up his Lurkers as well. This storm that we're seeing the end of right at this moment here killed 3 Lurkers that were clumped up in this range right here. He clumped up his Lurkers back here as well, so they were able to be stormed as well later on. So it was just, you know, a couple little errors, and then losing that early game and not being effective in stopping the storms from being able to demolish his army. And then, you know, with the storms just picking off so many units here in these initial skirmishes at the edge. Because right now, he hasn't lost any drones. He's still got sunken colonies. He's still got Lurkers. But he's lost so many units running into here that he's so behind in supply that he just doesn't have enough stuff to deal with all of these Dragoons. And so once he goes in with another round of units, it's just like there's nothing he can do. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling here, but I hope you guys enjoyed this nice little PvZ between 2 absolute giants of the game and of the matchup. I definitely enjoyed watching it, and yeah, again, I'm on vacation this week. I'm out of town, so I'm like 99% not gonna be streaming this week. I might be though. We'll see if I can maybe find some place to. I'm probably going to be taking my streaming laptop with me, so we'll see if I can pull something off. But at the very least, I'm going to try and run a replay, so if people want something to watch on our usual Wednesday evenings and Saturday afternoons watch parties. You'll at least be able to have a watch party with other folks, even if I won't be, you know, directly interacting with the chat or anything like that. So, all right, that's it. Thanks very much for watching. GG.